are you your own critic, or do you have people that help you with arranging the dynamics?
Yeah, no, I have. You know, I don't work completely on my own. I work with a friend of mine, a guy called Fred, who kind of, we talk about the songs, about how we're going to do them, and you know, the kind of album that we wanted to make. We talked about it a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure if I could completely work on my own. I'm not sure. I need sort of someone to sort of consult about it that isn't just a friend, that has a more of a kind of official capacity.
So what is his background?
Fred Paul. He actually produced my first album, and we kind of co-produced this album as well. And I write with him a bit, and he's a producer. He has a band called Pleasure. He's a good friend of mine, but you know, I kind of trust him, and we sort of work well together.
The album is called, well, like you said, Wilderness. Did you have the album title before you recorded the songs, or was it afterwards?
No, originally I was going to call the album Nothing. I didn't want to give it a name. I wanted it to be blank, to be titleless.
Why? How come?
I didn't want to play the kind of nice little music business game of, this is my nice new album and it's called X. I just didn't want to give it a title. It was like, here's an album, fuck you. And then I realised that it's impossible to call an album Nothing. It'll get called something.
So
what
do you think? Yeah.
In this day and age of iTunes and blah blah blah, it gets indexed somehow.
Yeah.
And it would just be indexed as Brett Anderson. And I thought, well, I've already released a Brett, and the first album was called Brett Anderson. So I decided to give it a title. I was going to call it that. I did have a couple of other ideas. I was going to call it This Is the Sound of My Heart Beating. And then I thought maybe that was convoluted and pretentious. But I quite like the sort of honesty and the direct, passionate nature of that sort of phrase. But I decided to call it Wilderness because I sort of started getting obsessed with the parts of cities where nature was fighting against buildings and winning, almost like reclaiming land. Sort of railways, you know, disused railways, and parts of the city that were kind of those in-between areas, wilderness areas. Not wilderness in the dictionary definition. The wilderness in the dictionary definition will read an area of wild land. It's not that. That's not my personal definition of the word wilderness. Wilderness is those blank areas of landscape.
Where's the cover photo? Where has it been taken?
It was taken in Hackney.
Can you explain, well, the place where it was taken?
It was a place called Hackney Marshes. It's a sort of an area in Hackney, which is sort of urban London, but it's a kind of a sort of, you know, a kind of park area, like a wild park in London.
So that's where you had maybe the idea from, or wilderness, or this
No, I was
sort
looking,
of example?
I mean, I didn't. No, I wanted to call it Wilderness. In fact, no, I didn't actually. We went there. I went there because I liked how it looked, and we did some photos there. And then I started thinking, oh yeah, it'd be interesting to call this album Wilderness. Yeah.